Hello and welcome back to Frack The Canon. It's been what? How long has it been, CJ? It's been 3 months? When was our last show?
I don't remember, man.
It's been, well, welcome back. CJ and I are here. So just remember, it's a little reminder of the drinking game we started going on. Every time I touch my face, or touch my lips, or do this, take a shot. Every time CJ says like or take a shot.
Like,
Yeah, like that. So, those are rules. So remember, so this episode, talking about Logan, and TJ knows what a big nerd for X-Men. There you go, right there. That's a shot right there. How a big X-Men Wolverine fan I am. So we have a clip of that of the TV spot. Can you please roll that clip whenever you guys are ready? Logan clip. It is in. There we go. Yeah, and then hit play.
Wolverine. I'm a fan, by the way.
Does she remind you of anybody?
Logan, rated R.
Alrighty, so there we go. Logan. I've seen it twice now, CJ. How many times have you seen it?
like once, like a normal person, but you know,
What? What? What is that supposed to mean?
it's
Normal.
supposed to mean movies are expensive. Why go to see them twice? They're gonna be on DVD in 2 weeks anyway.
Touche. Well played, Clark. Well played. Alrighty. What did you think of the movie? I loved it.
I loved it as well. I thought it was great. I'm not the biggest like Wolverine comic book fan.
What?
But I mean, you know, I don't hate him or anything. But you know, he just was never my favorite X-Men.
What?
You know, I'm sorry. You know this.
Yeah, but I said I gotta make a show for the people, dude. But so continue.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not the biggest Wolverine comic book fan. I think he's overrated a little bit, you know.
I think you're overrated a little bit.
But a little bit, you know, but by the same token, I actually am a big X-23 fan.
Which
So,
I dislike. As you wouldn't have had the conversation. Like I love Wolverine. Like he's my favorite superhero. Besides, it's Wolverine, Daredevil, and then Batman. I hate X-23. So you go tell me why you love X-23.
I don't know. It was just a difference, you know what I mean? It was like a cool little thing that they did. I really don't know why I like X-23. I have no, because she's exactly the same as Wolverine.
That's
except
why
for-
I hate her, dude, because she is exactly like Wolverine. She
But
is
here's the thing. Here's the thing is like they succeeded in making her into the weapon, you know what I mean? And like it's like their relationship in the comic book is just like it was in the movie. You know what I mean? Like this father figure to her, and he sees her as, you know, what he used to be, and he's like really trying like to put her on the straight and narrow to make her realize that she can be more than just a weapon, you know what I mean? And that's always their dynamic, and I really like that in the comics. And I really like that in the movie too. You know what I mean? Like that's what brought that out of him, you know.
I hate her. Because not because she's a woman, because she's literally a clone of him in every single way. But she is.
Where did that even come from?
What?
I don't even not because she's a woman. Come on.
Because we are living in politically heated times. That's all I think. And you know I've always hated her because she is literally a clone of Wolverine, and right now she is the Wolverine in the comic books. Like they killed off the real Wolverine, but they made her who's a clone, and they changed the Y chromosome to the X chromosome or whatever. She's a woman. I don't know why I said that twice, but I just like she's literally the Wolverine. She's the same character. She's angry. She's got berserker rage. She even has the costumes in the comics. I'm like, and she goes by Wolverine. I'm like, no, you're
But
not
they're different
Wolverine.
because she's a different character. She's different. She is different.
Not really, dude. Like everything I've read with her in since she's become Wolverine is like, oh, they messed up my life. Weapon X project. Like woe was me. Like the same thing Wolverine bitched about. She's bitching about. Now I'm like, this is Wolverine all over again, but in a female body. And that's what I hate about that character. In the movie, though, I'm surprised how much I liked her, though. If that makes any sense. And so that's right there. That's the cartoon. That's the first time we ever see X-23 ever. And we have a clip of introduction from the X-Men Evolution cartoon from 2004. That sound right, CJ?
It sounds about right.
Can you roll that? There we go.
Guys.
No boundaries. They gave me the chance to push genetics beyond anything conventional science had ever seen. beyond what any government allowed. My job there was to create a weapon, the perfect weapon, based on data Hydra had stolen from a project codenamed Weapon X. But I failed, time and time again. 22 times to be precise. 23 was the charm once we realized where to look for the answer.
See, like to me again, it's the Berserker race. Like it's always trading. It's fine. Like I thought, I'm like it's another Wolverine. Wolverine's cool, so they have to make.
She's got claws in her feet. Dude.
Yeah, that is actually I kind of do like that though. But overall, I don't really care for X-23. But I think it was done well. I felt like in the movie, they treated her more like a little girl who had anger issues, who wanted to be a normal girl, whereas in the cartoon and from what I read in the comic book, she's always been like, I don't know, dude. I just don't know. Like to me, she's just not all there to me.
Well, I mean, that's her thing, is she's not all there. She's kind of like Superboy and Young Justice. Like she's, like I said, she was a successful weapon. You know, I mean, she was never really a person.
Right.
So like hers is, she's more robotic. She's more like Data or someone like
she's
that.
She's a Terminator,
you know
kind of.
Like, you said what?
She's kind of like the Terminator then.
Yeah, like a Terminator. Like, you know, I mean, it is a weapon, and it's them kind of trying to turn her into a human. You know, like that. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of her whole deal. I don't know. That's why I like her. You know, it's a cool story.
I just like she's fine. I love her in the movie. I hated her in the comics and the cartoons.
Well, let's talk about the movie.
Yeah, let's talk about the movie overall. So, I love Wolverine. I told you I'm a crier. I cried like a little bitch at the end of this movie. Like I was tears down my face. What was that?
I was rolling my eyes. That's what I'm doing.
But yeah, I was crying. If my sister was there, she would have slapped me because she hates when I cry at movies. So to me, this was a good movie. Not a good movie. Period. Like they respected the source material and added to the plot, to the characters. They created follies for them, which one of them I had a really big issue with, which we'll talk about later. But overall, do you think this movie could go? Do you think anyone could get an Oscar? Any one of the actors or the writers could get a nomination for an Oscar?
I mean, I think it's possible. Like that's the thing. It's a decent movie. Like it's, you know, there's not much wrong with it. It's a decent story. Like the acting is solid, and that's all it really needs to be. You know, I mean, it just needs to be this. We believe that you guys exist in this world,
right? You
know, and then like that's pretty much what it did. And it was a cool story. It was a great movie for Hugh Jackman to go out on, you know, as far as, you know, if this has to be his last one, like this is a decent one to go out on, you know. It's like, I'm not mad at that. It's the Wolverine that we've
wanted to see for 17 years.
Have been waiting for. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they got it right in part 3. Too bad
it's the last one
movie.
Yeah,
you know, he'll do. But, you know, I guess if you're gonna get it right, wait till then. You know, save the best for last. Which they did. And one thing I really like about it too is that it kind of ends the X universe. Like it's the last Wolverine,
yes.
But it kind of ends everything that they kind of started telling back in 2001.
2000.
2000.
Yeah.
Back in 2000 with the first X-Men movie. It kind of ends that story. It doesn't do it in a way where it's like, well, we can't go back and tell more stories, or we can't go forward and tell more stories.
Right.
But it kind of is like, well, if you want to know how this ended, this is it. You know what I mean? This is the end. It doesn't mean it's the end of the X franchise, but this is the end, you know. And I think that's kind of cool. They kind of had the balls to do that, you know.
No, this is true. Like, that whole film franchise has gotten very, very sloppy. Like, it started with the first 3 were all set continuously, but they started jumping backwards a little bit in 2 and 3, and then they jumped backwards with X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is a piece of crap. And then they went even further with, what was it, First Class?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they jumped again to the 70s, and then they did the Wolverine, which was set in 2020 or whatever, and then they went back to the 80s, and so at least they get rid of that whole little cluster fudge of time. So it's like a Doctor Who episode, but in movie form. Screw you, that's funny. What do you think? Like, what do you think they're gonna? Where can they go next? Like, what do you think should happen next? Should they do an X-23 solo movie? Should they bring?
I think that they set up some interesting things, right?
Okay.
Now they've come out and said that they're like looking into doing a New Mutants movie. Now one thing I noticed, actually, a lot of the little kids' powers, because I read some of that series, some
Right.
of the New Mutant series,
Uh-huh.
when it came out. That was around 2004 when it was like when it was kind of out. And I really liked that series, but I noticed like some of those characters, the little kids, had a lot of the same powers that they do in New Mutants.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I mean, I bet like these are supposed to be the New Mutants, but then of course they said like, well, but New Mutants isn't going to be a continuation
Right.
of what happened in Logan. It's going to be its own thing. So,
right.
I think it would be cool if they could, take off of the end of Logan,
Right.
and do like, this is what happens to the kids and whatnot, or this is what happens to them. But if they're doing the New Mutants, that seems like that's just going to be that's like pretty much X-Men Apocalypse Part 4, right?
Ugh,
Like,
yeah.
that's what happens right after Apocalypse, I'm guessing.
Pretty much.
So you get to see like young Cyclops, young Jean Grey, and all them do that. Now, one thing that they did bring to mind is that they have the new X series coming out for Fox.
Oh, which one? Not the Legion one? Are you talking about Legion, or they're the one they're working on right now?
Yeah, they're working on the.
Oh, that's right.
There's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
X-Men television series, and some of the plot reminds me of how the world was in Logan, actually, because they're talking about like there's kind of like this underground railroad type of a system happening, and and there's like a family whose child is like a mutant, and they kind of meet up with this underground, you know what I mean, and kind of need help surviving. It kind of reminds me of a world that's like that, so I'm interested to see. And what they said, Polaris is supposed to be
Polaris is in it?
the character.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yep. And Blink is supposed to be
Oh,
in
yeah, that's
it.
right. So
But,
okay.
So as far as when you're talking about speculation, I think that show, it would be interesting if that took place in the same kind of world that Logan was,
That would be pretty cool because they cast Thunderbird, they cast Polaris, they cast Blink, but they're all different from different eras too. Like, what's his name? Thunderbird is from the X-Men with Colossus and Storm when Michael they show up. Polaris is from the 90s, and she's from X Factor, or one of the X Factor teams, or X Force. And then Blink is from the time traveling X-Men. So it sounds like a weird kind of
combo.
Yeah,
but,
combo of like a little bit of everything.
As we've known from Fox so far, they have no problem with pulling from a lot of different eras to kind of make their own continuity.
True.
It's like Foxmen rather than X-Men, that's not mine. I
like
saw
that.
that online somewhere.
Yeah.
I saw that online. I can't steal that, but
at least you give credit because you've had better jokes.
Yeah.
I was okay.
I want my name attached to that.
No, go ahead. You were saying that.
Well, what do you think as far as like some of the places they can go? I mean, that's a kind of an idea of what I think they might do with that line. Well, yeah, what do you think?
I don't know what they can do because they've done all the really good stories. Like they did the original X-Men movie, the introduction to the world. They did the Days of Future Past. They did Apocalypse, which I've never been a fan of. I don't know what they can do though. Like really, they did Age of Apocalypse, but that was badly done. I think what I would like to see them do is just give it a rest. Let them give Deadpool and Cable, give them their own little thing for a while. Which we got. Did you see that? What do you think about that trailer for Deadpool? I laughed my ass off on
I mean, I thought it was funny. I mean, it's Deadpool doing his Deadpool thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was cool. And just I mean, it doesn't really show much. I mean, it's just like, it's a teaser.
Right.
It's fine as teasers go.
Right. So yeah, there we go. So apparently, Cable's gonna show up this time. If they're going to, he's the Summers. I never care for the Summers. But if they do it well, I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, and I hear a rumor that they were thinking of doing the Hope Summers story, and
Really?
that was one of my. I read X Force,
Uh huh.
and there was this event that went through all the X
I
books.
would love to see X Force because I love that idea of Professor. I'm sorry, but like Professor X, like we're a world packing people. Like he has his Black Ops X Men, which I
Right,
really love. Like no, we gotta get stuff ready just in case. Like it's like
right. And
go ahead.
there's a rumor that they're doing an X Force movie, and that Deadpool would be involved with that.
I don't know how I
Um,
would feel about that because that Deadpool, I don't know. From what I've seen, I don't know how you would mesh that Deadpool with that universe. Of the tones are so different. It's got to be just some unless they get freaking what's his name, Akiva Goldsman to write it or Brian Michael Bendis to write it. I don't want to see that. It depends who writes it. I feel.
I mean, well, it always depends on who writes
Yeah.
it. It's like saying, well, if it's good, I want to see it, but if it's
Well,
bad,
yeah.
then I'll hate it. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
do judge a
duh.
book by its cover.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a cool idea because he was in the X Force comic that I really
Right.
enjoyed. He was in that.
Yep.
He wasn't in the original take, but he was in the next team, and I really liked that book. And I do think that it would be an interesting way to go. You know what I
Mhm.
mean with the X line. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel you what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I forgot. Now I remember what I was talking about. The Hope
That
Summers
happens a
thing.
lot to us, surprisingly enough. Like more
I
often
know.
than not,
Yeah, yeah.
every conversation, like, what were we saying? Yeah, wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
But yeah, the Hope Summer, that was actually one of my
Right.
favorite storylines. It's like a trilogy of them. You know what I mean?
That
Like
would
it's
be
like second,
cool. That would
like
be
the whole,
cool.
and especially like there hasn't been any new mutants born in a
Hmm.
while. Like Logan kind of set up that story. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and that's like the Hope Summers that comes out like after House of M, after
Was that after
Scarlet
Half of them?
Witch.
Oh my God, that was. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
Scarlet Witch wipes out the mutants, and there's no more new mutants being
Yep.
born. And Hope Summers is basically the first new mutant to be born after that happened. So it's like in a long time, like
Right.
she's the first new mutant to be born, and obviously there are interested parties in either trying to prevent that or trying to capture that
Hmm.
and exploit that. You know what I mean? And then the other mutants want it to happen. Other mutants don't want it to happen.
Hmm.
So I think that'd be a really, especially to base like an X Force movie
Right.
around. That'd be a really interesting
Hmm.
way to take it to.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. I actually would love to see that. Because it would give at least they would get some credibility to the time traveling thing, or just a way to introduce that world of
Mhm.
and then bring in not Deadpool, Cable. But it just I as a fan was like seeing rest, but if they're gonna go again, I think stay away from the X Men, stay away from Logan, and just go with the New Mutants, go with Cable or Deadpool, stay with the Age of Apocalypse, go with the X Men, go with Nathan Gray, and see what's up with him. Um, but something I forgot something I want to go back to about the movie was there was a surprise villain. What did you think about that villain? Do you want to say who it was? I thought it was
Yeah, I
kind of
mean,
stupid.
why not? We could just say a spoiler. We could just
Yeah,
say spoiler in the
spoilers
description or
for those
something.
of you who haven't seen it. It's been out for 2 weeks now. Why haven't you seen it? They clone Wolverine, which is I'm like, okay, I hate X-23, but this is even redonkulous. Like this is donkey balls. This is stupid. I'm like, I hated it. I hated that character, but on the second viewing, I'm like, you know what? It's kind of it's a man. It's what was it? It kind of goes to that old trope of man versus himself. It's Wolverine fighting his best at his best, fighting himself at his weakest and fighting himself at his best. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and he was. I mean, it's a movie like with him battling his demons
Right.
anyway. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's a movie about him fighting himself, like who he is now versus who he was, thinking that who he
Yep.
was dead, and sort of running. He had they had the discussion, him and X-23 in the
Yep.
movie even had the talk. We're talking about different nightmares.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're different nightmares, and he's, she's like, or her nightmares are, what did she say? Her nightmares are people coming after her, and
Right.
his is him like or people hurting her.
Right.
Nightmares are people hurting her. His nightmares is him hurting people. You know, I mean, and they had that. You know, I thought that was that really
Yeah.
cool. That ties into the bad guy because that's what that villain was. He was rage engineered. You know what I mean? Like he was all the bad of Wolverine. You know what I
Right.
mean? Everything he didn't like about himself.
That's what I did. Like,
Kind
yeah. In second viewing, I'm like, okay, it's that. It's a metaphor for Wolverine's rage and anger against the world, right? And him becoming away, going so far away from that. But what I would have loved to have seen him to do is someone we haven't seen in a long time is his main nemesis, Sabretooth. I would have loved for them to have used Sabretooth in that movie. We haven't seen him since that movie that shall not be named. They're using comic book form, but that's the evil Wolverine, right? Like that's the way that they should have gone. Like I love how they looked in the comic. I love how the movie version that we saw in the first X-Men movie, but that's what I would have preferred to see. But then again, he would have been. Why would have been alive, and why would have he survived so much? But in second viewing, like I said, I did enjoy. I didn't bug me as much. I'm still like, okay, fine. Clone.
I will
clone.
say I would have preferred it to be someone,
Right.
someone of importance, somebody like that meant something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody that wasn't just another clone of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, another clone of Wolverine, which was, I mean, like I said, like the movie was decent enough that
Right.
you know it held water. It stood,
Right.
you know, in the test of time.
Right. Right.
But you know, I didn't. But you know, I didn't necessarily need Sabretooth, but somebody else would have been nice. You know,
All
like,
right, so running out of time. You've seen Legion. You saw one episode, one more than I have.
mhm.
Want to give you a quick review about Legion?
Yeah, sure. How much time do I have? What, 60 seconds?
Like 2 minutes.
Like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Legion is really weird. That's the first thing you'll notice. You'll notice that it is really weird. Watch it for a few more minutes, and you'll notice that it is really well done. It actually, the production value is excellent. The acting is all right. You know, it is decent. You know, it's decent enough.
Mhm.
But as you're watching it, it starts to like engage you, like with its weirdness. It's like, okay, you're trying to figure out what's going on, but then it like then it like gut punches you with like this like really likable side story, right?
Okay.
Like, and you're just like, wait, okay, like, okay, that threw me for a loop. I like what's going on here, and then it like kind of gets back into the weird, like, because it's trippy, like it's this trippy existence. You like the character are trying to figure out what's real at the moment. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like, so like things are
kinda cool.
happening, and it's almost like sketchy in a way because you're like, okay, like there's these little side stories I'm following, and I'm interested. I'm becoming invested in these little side stories. I want to know the end of this. Like, holy
Right.
crap! Like, what's happening? Like with this, like what happened? Tell me the end of that story, that thread.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, and but by the end, real, but you still don't know what's happening. Like, but it's really interesting, and it's really an engaging story, and it's really well done. I will say I'm not interested in the Legion character like from the comic books.
Yeah, I've never cared for
And
him.
when I heard the preview or whatever that they were coming out with this, I wasn't like excited for it, or I was like, "You're coming out with an X series and it's this character?"
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah. I'm
you
like,
know. But I will say, like, I will be watching another episode to see like if I like it or to see what's going on. I really like the first episode. I'll say
okay.
that. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't care for that character at all, or that's something I have no interest in. For myself, like it looks like a good drama, but I'm like if it's, I'm very picky with my ex shows and movies. So as you know, CJ.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, something happened in the control room that made me laugh. Um, anything you want to add before we wrap it up? Anything you want to say? What's the next episode going to be about? What do you think? I know what I want to
Our
talk about.
episode.
Our
Oh,
next
what? Freaking Marvel, of course. What? Like Guardians is coming out. Oh, Power Rangers.
Oh yes, I am going to be either very happy or very mad with that movie because you know my love for that show and how I try to get a writing job for that show, and that failed. Yeah. So what's coming out next this year? We got Power Rangers, Guardians,
There's Guardians.
Thor
Wonder
3,
Woman.
Spider-Man, Wonder Woman. Ooh, 1 minute. We got 1 minute left. Thoughts on Wonder Woman? What do you think? Is it going to be good or bad? From what we've seen.
I think it's gonna suck. I'm gonna see it though. I do think it's gonna suck though.
It is a DC movie, right? So and their track record isn't the best. I hope I,
It looks
I
like
hope
it'll
it's
probably
not.
have some cool action.
It's Wonder Woman. I don't hope it's not a bad movie because it's Wonder Woman. Like it's the first female superhero who has her own movie, but it's DC also, so we'll see how it goes. But that's all I have. Thank you to the crew for coming in, taking time off on the Saturday, and helping us out. TJ, anything you want? Any final thoughts?
Nah, I don't know. Sam, you summed it up pretty good.
Alrighty.
Thanks and
Alrighty.
stuff.
Goodbye, guys. Thank you. Auf Wiedersehen. Guten Tag. Adios.